Trading and gambling, two worlds of risk and reward, often seem to overlap. But are they really the same, or there's more than meets the eye? A lot of people in the trading industry consider trading close to gambling. In my eyes, that is absolutely not true because trading is way different than gambling in my eyes. So first off, let's talk about the purpose of both trading and gambling. You see, the main purpose of trading is basically to increase your capital, investment, and researching the markets. Whereas the purpose of gambling for most of the people out there is only entertainment. And I'm not saying that every person is there for entertainment. Yes, there are some people who actually make good amount of money with gambling, and for most of them that is their main source of income. Like, there are big gamblers out there who are successful in this field. But it doesn't mean that gambling is the best way to invest your money or grow your capital. In fact, in my eyes, that is the best way to actually lose your capital. Now let's talk about the decision-making aspect in both trading and gambling. You see, in trading, you need to analyze the markets properly, you need to have a good trading strategy, and you also need to have the knowledge about the charts and the markets that you are analyzing. You have to combine both fundamentals and technicals in order to take your trade, and this requires a lot of practice. Trading is not based on luck, but on your skills. If you are a beginner trader, you will lose money. And if you have a good trading strategy, whereas for gambling, there is little to no decision making required. It is totally based on luck. You only have to press a button or you have to spin the wheel, and the outcome is totally based on luck. And most of the time, you're gonna lose money. Well, there are some exceptions. For example, in poker. You see, in poker game, you need to have some sort of skill to make money. And if you are really good at poker, you can actually make a good amount of money. Also, there are some games like this where skill is required. And that is one way decision making can come handy when doing gambling. Now, let's talk about the risk management aspect in both trading and gambling. In trading, risk management is one of the most important skills when it comes to becoming a profitable trader. Without risk management, you are essentially just gambling, and there is no difference between gambling and trading. As a professional risk manager, you will be only risking 1 or 2% of your total capital. And by risking 1 or 2% per trade, you are expecting to make 3 or 4% per trade. Unlike gambling, you're not going to put your whole capital on one single trade. In fact, there are some traders who are starting out with their trading journey. They will go full margin expecting a huge return, and in return, they will actually lose their account. Now, when it comes to gambling, there are some people who set limits on the budget. Like, for example, they are only going to gamble with $1,000, and if they lose that, they go home. But that is no proper risk management because you are just completely playing with luck. And most of the gamblers out there will actually lose their entire savings in one night. So that is a huge difference between gambling and trading. Gambling is totally dependent on luck, whereas in trading, you need a lot of skill, you need a lot of experience. Now let's talk about the emotional aspect when it comes to trading and gambling. In trading, emotional discipline is required to become a consistently profitable trader. Emotional discipline helps you to stick to your strategy and avoid bad decisions. For example, over trading, over leveraging, and taking trades when there is no setup present. Whereas if we talk about gambling, there is no emotional discipline. In fact, most of the people who are gambling are only there for dopamine hit. Some of them actually enjoy losing. Yes, you heard me right. Some people are also addicted to losing. For example, if they lose, they will try to win their money back, and that little part of gambling excites them more than anything. Now, you can actually get addicted to gambling. There are so many people who have gone depressed after losing their entire savings in one night. So if you are out there who thinks that trading is same as gambling, please understand it is totally different, and that is a complete lie. In a trading world, you can actually improve by the passage of time. For example, if you are a beginner, you will yes lose some money in the beginning, but with experience and learning different strategies, you will actually start to become profitable. When it comes to gambling, yes, some games require skill, right? And you can actually improve in some games. But most of the other games are totally dependent on luck. So there is no chance for you to become a better gambler, if that makes sense. Now let's talk about the outcome distribution in trading and gambling. In trading, the outcomes can vary widely. Some traders might see consistent, modest gains. some might experience minimal losses, while others might encounter significant losses or wins. Now the thing is, not a single trade is based on luck if you're actually analyzing the markets and doing your research before taking the entry. When you take a trade, there's a range of potential outcomes, but they are not purely based on luck. You know, your experience, skill, and strategy play an important role when it comes to taking the trade. You know, if you're taking a trade blindly, well, that could be considered as a gamble and the outcome will be totally dependent on luck. Whereas if you are taking a trade with proper analysis, considering the fundamentals, considering the technicals, considering the economic calendar, well, then that outcome of the trade is totally going to be dependent on you and the analysis that you did. You know, after some time, when you are a consistent trader, you will produce more consistent and predictable outcomes. Well, now this doesn't mean that they will not experience losses, but the idea is to limit the losses and maximizing on the gains. When it comes to gambling, the casino always has an edge. This means that the spread of outcome is typically skewed against the player over the long run. Unlike trading, where you take a trade and if you experience a loss, you will probably come back the next day or you will reanalyze the market and then take your entry. When it comes to gambling, the trader, if he loses some amount, he will try to gain it back by gambling more. He will keep on gambling until he loses his whole account. So the point here is that trading is not based on luck. It requires skill. Whereas, as I said before, when it comes to gambling, most of the time, 90% of the time, it is totally dependent on luck. So if you're out there who thinks that, you know, trading is similar to gambling and you're like afraid of joining this industry, please know that trading is totally different and it can actually make you money rather than making you lose money like gambling. So yeah, guys, that would be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and yeah, just start trading and don't gamble. Bye-bye.